Chronological chaos is about to be unleashed every time that Kang the Conqueror is on the scene. And in tonight's retro run, we are taking a look at Avengers 267 to 269, when one of the Avengers' oldest enemies reappeared after years of absence to do battle with the Avengers, but also to do battle with himself. And the very nature of who and what Kang is, will be, or was, is at the heart of this epic tale. Now this is the Pop Culture Cosmonaut, and I am menacingly telling you to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm essentially threatening you at this point. Man, let's get with it. Alright, here is the cover for Avengers 267, the work of John Buscema and Tom Palmer. Kang lives. And on this cover you see several Avengers. Black Knight, Hercules, Cap in the bottom right. And in the top right you see the Wasp and Storm. And to the left you see the Hulk, Namor, Colossus. It's an interesting mix of characters. We'll see what happens with them all in this issue. By the way, this was written by Roger Stern. And this is called Time and Time Again. They call her Storm, for all wind and weather is at the command of her amazing mutant powers. In her young life, she has been both sinner and saint. But now, at long last, she's taken her rightful place among the greatest of heroes. Now, she is an Avenger. All right. And look, there's cameras capturing this moment as well. Welcome home, Storm, and congratulations. You did a great job of blunting that Gulf Coast hurricane. Oh, thank you, Wasp. I didn't expect such a lavish reception. I don't know what kind of accent that is for Storm, but I'll work through it. Oh, the reporters? Well, you know, they're actually here because of our new member. He's inside conferring with the president. Heads up, here they come. I am very nervous, Mr. President. Just follow my lead, Colossus. I'm an old hand at this. I'm Ronald Reagan, President. I don't know what kind of voice I can do for him. Alright, I'll work through that too. Mr. President, is the induction of a Soviet citizen into the Avengers a sign of... Whoa, let's back up there a minute. Colossus is a former Soviet citizen, and I'm sure he'll make a fine American. Alright? Now before the chief executive can continue, the air is suddenly split by the whine of powerful jets, and Iron Man, we were beginning to wonder if you'd show. Sorry I'm late, Captain America. Some personal business came up at the last minute, but I settled it fast, and I wouldn't have missed this for the world. As Iron Man in his red and gold armor appears. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the man who's chiefly responsible for bringing Colossus to our shores. You flatter me, Mr. President. Nonsense. If you hadn't helped Colossus smuggle his family out of Siberia, he'd still be at the mercy of the Kremlin. Just doing my duty, sir. Hey, Arnie, got a close-up of Iron Man with the president. This is big time. Alright. By the way, my employer, Tony Stark, asked me to give you this. This box. Well, so soon. Well, that is good news. We can all take pride in the work of men like Anthony Stark. Just goes to show how much can be accomplished with a little old-fashioned hard work. And Yankee, ingenuity. Can't get this blasted thing open, Iron Man. May I assist you, comrade? I mean, Mr. President. I'm Colossus of the X-Men. I can help you. I think the chief can handle it, Colossus. Just tug a little harder, sir. And then suddenly, don't stop! What the? How'd this bum get past the front gate? Stop him, don't let him get close to the president. The Secret Service grabs him. You've made a big mistake, buddy. No, you don't understand. The president's in deadly danger. That's not Iron Man. Oh, and I suppose you are? Yes, I'm Anthony Stark, and... But as the Secret Service agents wrestle Tony Stark to the ground, the president finally yanks the metal box open. Unbelievable. When the great mushroom cloud finally settles, there's little left standing on the island of Manhattan. And yet, one man still lives, protected from the awful heat and radiation by a glistening force field. I did it. I killed them all. And the fools never suspected for a moment that their teammates' armor disguised Kang the Conqueror. I love this panel so much. Look at that. He's ripping through his armor. Now there are none left alive to stop my plans of conquest. What? Where am I? Who dares interrupt my greatest triumph? Be still, fool. Fool, you address Kang the Conqueror, master of time. Kang the idiot. There's nothing left on that 20th century Earth for you to conquer. American armed forces immediately retaliated for what was thought a Soviet attack. You sparked a global thermonuclear war of which you were the sole survivor. Only your counterpart was less successful. What do you mean, counterpart? For a master of time, you don't know much about its nature. Haven't you realized that one or more alternate realities may diverge at critical points in time? Here, see for yourself. We plucked you from the reality in which you survived, but there was another reality in which things turned out quite differently. Another Kang? Dead? Just one of many Kangs and sets of Avengers. You time travelers are a major problem. The more you jump across time, the more divergent realities you create. This council has convened to end that chaos. I don't believe it. Even if it were true, what right have you? Ooh, bring up the lights, brother, and show him. There. Now do you see? We have every right. Enough. Let's be done with him. No, no, no. Oh, shut up. Pathetic wretch. How many more of these inferior doubles must we be forced to exterminate? I swear. Each new divergent double we isolate is more ignorant than the one before. It's enough to make me wish I'd never built a time machine. It's a little Kang joke. That's an inside joke for Kangs, you know? Oh, a time machine, yeah. Yeah, take heart, brother. Most of them are so incompetent that they die in their own failed schemes. And in this null time zone, we can terminate the others without creating more bad copies. Yes, however, this duty does take us away from our prime interest, conquest. I move that we adjourn until our next scheduled meeting. Agreed. Let's conquer something, man. We're talking too much. Let's conquer. Simultaneously, the three Kangs vanish from their seats. But then, across the chamber, took me a year of calculations, but I finally found the chrono coordinates necessary to get me into the council chambers before the next meeting. This place intrigues me. I'm certain that our caped brother is hiding something here that... Aha! A positive sensor pulse. Must be a secret panel right about here. Very good, brother. I thought you'd be the one to come exploring. You always were the more adventurous member of the council. I'm pleased at your initiative. As you've deduced, there is much more to this place than the chamber we used. Shall I show you around? Yes, brother, please. What's his game? All right. Unlike yourself and our other council, brother, I'm not presently ruling a single reality. I've established my base of operations in this region that is beyond time and space. Here is my central robotics plant. It's impressive. As he thinks to himself, this dwarfs anything I possess. He's a more dangerous version of myself than I suspected. He's got Kang envy. That's gotta be rough. Comparison's the thief of joy. Kang's gotta be miserable. Never good enough. There's always a better Kang. Alright, anyways. And through there is one of my armament fabricators. I'm puzzled, brother. Why have you kept this hidden from the council? Hidden? I keep nothing hidden. You're here, aren't you? It's a good point. This is the nerve center of my base. From here I can scan the many realities in search of our inferior and embarrassing doubles. Ah, this may interest you. Whenever our council brother returns to his 41st century empire, he first reassures himself of his own authority by reviewing his troops. You spy on us? Well, let us say I watch after you, right? I'm just looking out for you. Okay, these reviews take hours. Let's jump ahead a bit. Ha, he's so predictable. He spends half of each day at the tomb of his lovely Ravonna. He's mourned her for over 50 of his years. Poor old dotard, all that time wasted. You heartless, I mourn for my Ravonna as well. How can you? Tut, young one, I call it a waste, because I have no need to mourn her. And look, Ravonna, coming out of the chamber here. Ravonna, alive. Oh, Ravonna, eyes. My lord, was that really necessary? It was. I'm sorry I had to put you through that, Ravonna, but it will soon all be over. Now there's only one left to eliminate. One more Kang to go. All right. Dastardly machinations by Kang the Conqueror. Back on Earth, on our world, in our time, a sleek limousine winds its way through a growing crowd in front of Avengers Mansion. As these people say, "No outlaw Avengers, Namor must go. Avengers, yes, Namor, no." All right. And the Wasp exits the limo, getting harassed by reporters. All right. And she just flies up out of there. All right. I'll issue a statement later. All right. And some guy here say, some kid, "Holy, she shrunk down the size of a bird, just like that." A bird. She's called the Wasp, man. All right. Anyways. And then she flies in. She's encountered by Jarvis, saying, "Good morning, Ms. Van Dyne." Right? "Morning, Jarvis. How long's that fan club been out front?" All right. And she checks herself in the mirror, walks and talks with good old Jarvis here. He hooks her up with a letter, a telegram, a cable, as he calls it, from Paladin. All right. Her beau of the time. That was her man, her boo. All right. And she's grinning, So he says here, am I to assume that it's not bad news, madam? All right. Well, you assume correctly, you old dear, and kisses him. Oh, you've lost a few pounds, haven't you, Jarvis? Well, yes, indeed, madam. Well, the results are very becoming. And where is everybody? Yeah, where are the Avengers? All right. Well, the two captains and the Submariner are en route to Hydro Base, madam. But Hercules and the Black Knight are at work below. All right. Oh, of course. This is the day we'd plan to start remodeling the second sub-basement. As the Avengers' devoted butler looks on, Janet Van Dyne wills herself to shrink by 12 inches and soars away on the gossamer wings of the Wasp. Thanks to comic books, I knew what gossamer wings were. Otherwise, I'd have no clue. Yeah. And moments later, 3 levels below ground, the Wasp here, flying through the tunnel. It says, oh, there's my busy little work crew just ahead. We're certainly lucky to have the services of Hercules. Not only does he handle the work of 100 men, he saves us the costs of cranes and pile drivers as well. I hope he's getting paid for this. Okay, and while the Olympian Avenger hammers new support beams into place, look at what Black Knight is doing. He's operating this boring vehicle here. Just 50 feet ahead of him, the Black Knight drives a mammoth boring machine ever deeper into the bedrock of Manhattan Island. Should have hired somebody to help for this stuff, man. All right. And as they're looking at their plan to continue digging underground, Hercules notices, Dane Whitman, why does your machine glow in that manner? Hey, it's not supposed to. Wait a minute. That's not coming from the auger module. What the devil? As suddenly as it came, the eerie glow disappears, taking the 3 Avengers with it. The next thing they know, what was that? I don't know, maybe a transport beam of some sort. One thing's for sure, we're not where we were. Not even in the Stygian depths of the netherworld have I e'er encountered such a fog as this. I believe it. At its worst, London was never this bad. There are figures moving out there, but I can't make them out. Oh no, it's the Hulk! Stand ye back, Avengers. The Hulk has escaped me before, but he shall not do so again. And he just runs up and strikes him hard, man. And puts him down. And now, monster. Hercules, wait! There's something strange about this. I've never seen the Hulk hit so hard that he didn't get right back up. I mean, he's the Hulk. He's down. You're right, Wasp. I don't think Hercules is responsible for the Hulk's current state. He's not unconscious. He's in some sort of trance. Hey, am I starting to lose it, or is the Hulk becoming transparent? It can't be. He couldn't have turned into Giant Man? Giant Man. That's the name Jan's ex-husband used in the early days of the Avengers. Surely this is some hideous jest. This cannot be Henry Pym. But it is Hercules. I'd know this face anywhere. It's really Hank. And then, several miles southeast of New York Harbor on a submarine. Alright, you see Captain Marvel and Captain America talking here. And they're watching Namor the Submariner swimming with some porpoises out at sea. They discuss Namor as their newest Avenger. Captain Marvel here saying, Namor really seems to be enjoying himself. I never knew he could be so playful. Well, there's a lot that people don't realize about our Submariner. Namor confided in me a few times during the war, and, well, let's just say he hasn't had the happiest of lives. Well, he hasn't done much to make it better. Lots of people still think he's as dangerous as the Hulk, and I have to admit, there are times when he makes me uneasy. He has such a temper, such an ego. he can be difficult. That's for certain. Still, there's a very decent man hiding behind those, or between those pointed ears. I think being an Avenger will bring that man out in the open. Well, I hope you're right, Captain. Hey, no need to be so formal, Captain Marvel. There are no civilians in earshot. It's all right to call me Steve. Well, I'll call you Steve, if you'll call me Monica. Monica? Monica Rambeau. That's my name. Or Rambo, like John Rambo. Monica Rambeau. Monica, you didn't have to tell me that. Well, I've been waiting to confide in an Avenger I can trust. Who better than you, Cap? And then, Submariner emerges from the sea with lobsters in hand. Ho, Avengers, and the porpoises. Like, yeah, you did it, man. You're our hero. We'll dine well tonight. Not more lobster. Pay no attention to Mr. Meat and Potatoes, Namor. As far as I'm concerned, you can stalk the Avengers larder from now till doomsday. What's a larder? Anyone tell me that? Larder, okay. But you still don't completely trust him, do you, Ms. Rambeau? How long will it be until you tell him to call you Monica? All right. Look at that look on Cap's face. All right. Elsewhere. We'll get to the bottom of this, Jan. There must be some sort of explanation. That's all right, Dane. I'm getting a sneaking suspicion. I know what's what here. Hercules, pull his mask back into place, please. As you wish. I still do not understand how the Hulk could turn into Henry Pym, or why he would wear such gaudy garb. This was Hank's first Giant Man uniform. He didn't keep this style for long, and I suspect that Hank replaced the Hulk here. But if I'm right, he won't stay here for long. There he goes. Goodbye, Hank. Well, I'll be. He's being replaced by Iron Man? Hey, this be not any Iron Man I ever seen. Well, this is the armor he wore when the Avengers was founded. Now I know what's happening. Years ago on the Avengers' first official mission, we fought a bizarre creature who called himself the Space Phantom. He could duplicate the appearance and powers of any mortal being, and whoever he duplicated was displaced into a shadowy limbo world. And this happened in Avengers number 2. Alright. Outside of normal time and space, until the Space Phantom gave up their form. You know, and when we fought him, the Phantom duplicated the Hulk, and then the Giant Man, and then Iron Man. So you think we're in this limbo? That you are, Avengers. And I am most heartened that you were able to deduce that on your own. Welcome all. Welcome to my domain. Kang! We should have known that you'd be behind anything involving tricks with time. Who is this fiend? The mighty Thor told me that Limbo was ruled by a being called Immortus. Immortus is no more. Kang is now supreme ruler of Limbo, and the extent of my power is beyond your imaginings. You didn't bring us here to tell us that. Well, of course not. I brought you here for my amusement. But I'm willing to be sporting about this. To return home, all you must do is defeat me. Otherwise, you'll stay in limbo for the rest of eternity. Well, in that case, I pick the first choice, as she tries to zap him. Really, Wasp, your bioelectric sting may make short work of lesser foes, but surely you didn't expect it to penetrate my protective field? I'm Kang the Conqueror, damn it. No, but it makes a great diversion. My sword, on the other hand, shatters just about anything, including force field. Your turn, Herc. That's a pretty cool ability, though. It's good to have him around to break down any force field. And then, bam! Hercules comes in with the right hand and just knocks his head off, literally. Hey, what the? Fools! Have you so soon forgotten that Kang is also a master of robotics? If you can't do any better than this, you'll never go home. And Hercules is not having it. Look at the action in this scene. Fantastic. Marvelous. It's going even better than I'd hoped, Ravonna. I have these Avengers right where I want them. Before they breathe their last, I'll have them doing exactly as I wish. But is that what you wish, my lord? But what is it you wish, my lord? Says Ravonna. She got a visor on indoors. All right. Does she have like cataracts or something? What's going on with her? Anyways, I know you want to destroy your greatest foes, but I don't fully understand how. All right. That, my dear, is because you have not had my experience in the arts of subterfuge and deception. I've managed to eliminate all of my divergent duplicates, save one. I am now going to lure that last surviving double into a battle with these Avengers, here in the heart of Limbo. That will be the end of my rival self. I'll then replace him in his future time with a robotic copy, as I have already with so many others, and rule his empire by proxy. But will 3 Avengers be enough to slay your twin? Of course not. He's the longest lived of all Kangs, and very nearly my equal. I expect him to exterminate them. But the battle should weaken him sufficiently to enable me to safely deliver the killing blow. Then, with the Avengers' ranks halved and myself established as the ultimate Kang, I shall conquer all times. Next, the Kang Dynasty. Avengers 268. And on this cover you see the Avengers are trapped in limbo while being attacked by Kang and his growing man android. And in the background lurk some dire wraiths in the fog. It's a muddled, kind of ugly cover, but it definitely gets across the dire situation that the Avengers are in. Let's begin. And this issue, the Kang Dynasty, begins saying here, hours ago, the Wasp entered this construction area deep beneath New York's Avengers Mansion to join Hercules and the Black Knight. But now, as Captain America looks through this hole with a flashlight, you're sure that none of them came back into the mansion, Jarvis? I'm positive, Captain America. I know it sounds absurd, but 3 Avengers have simply vanished. Alright. And you see here Captain Marvel and Namor in the background. Captain Marvel sitting in the air. That's a power move. Alright, let's get into it. Well, stranger things have happened, Jarvis. Yeah, there's no sign of a break-in from below. Or of any struggle. I can't imagine Avengers not putting up a fight. I mean, if they were attacked, but there's something odd, Cap. The energy sensor core in the Black Knight's excavation machine has suffered a form of power overload. Well, that's not much to go on, Namor, but we better check it out. Can you haul that core up to our electronics lab? Certainly, Captain Marvel, if you'll light the way. Of course. And Captain Marvel spoke about her feelings about Namor in the previous issue, a bit trepidatious around the Submariner. I can't get over how the Submariner can heft a module that weighs a ton and still fly. How does he do it with just those tiny wings on his ankles? I've wondered the same thing before. But a ton is nothing to Namor. That's nothing. And then soon, that's the final connection, Cap. The core is all hooked up to the system's analyzer. Well, good. Let's hope there's enough functional memory in the core's data chips to give us an idea of... what? What is this? These readings indicate that the sensor core's memory was scrambled by some sort of chronal displacement wave. Chronal displacement wave? Yep, that's the jargon Iron Man came up with to explain it, CM. You know, the pulp writers of my boyhood would probably have called it a time teleport ray. Yeah, it can only mean that our teammates have been spirited away by Kang. Krang? Impossible. That old Atlantean traitor hasn't the technology to do this. No, not Krang. Kang. You got prawn in your ears, Namor? Alright. Kang the Conqueror. I know about him from scanning the Avengers data files. He's a time-traveling warlord from hundreds of years in the future. I can tell you from first-hand experience that he's one of our most dangerous enemies. But what could Kang be up to? Why would he kidnap half of the Avengers? Yes, and where has he taken them? Well, that's the big question, Namor. They could be anywhere in time. Indeed. Beyond all space and time, in the shadowy realm of Limbo. The three missing Avengers are lost on a fog-bound plane with the comatose form of Iron Man. An Iron Man from long ago. Hercules, did you have to completely pulverize the robot Kang sicked on us? If you'd left a few circuits intact, I might have been able to cobble together something to help us get out of this pea soup. My apologies, Dane Whitman. The robot's taunts left me sorely vexed. Now, as have these apparitions. First it was the Hulk, then Giant Man. Now I face an Iron Man outfitted in unfamiliar armor. The Wasp claims that all three were dispatched to Limbo in the first year of the Avengers' founding. How can this be? How is it that we have seen them here, now? Well, it's not easy to explain, Herc. Limbo apparently touches all times, but is part of none. Nothing about Limbo fits the concepts of time as we know them. There is no now in this place. Here, time is space, and vice versa. You see, mercy, Sir Knight. I beg you, explain no more, else I shall understand even less than I do already. That's great dialogue, great writing right there. I love Hercules. What is this? The entranced Iron Man at last begins to fade from view. Does this mean we are to be spared further visitations from the past? No, Hercules, there's one more on his way. The one I've been waiting for. The one responsible for the appearances of the original Avengers. He calls himself the Space Phantom. Who are you? What are you doing here? Don't you recognize me, Phantom? You just finished battling my teammates. You resemble the Wasp. But you can't be. Oh, yes, I can. And I'm a much tougher Wasp than the one you once attacked. So believe me, it's in your best interest to cooperate. What do you want? Well, we'll start with a little information. I think not. What? Kang, I promised to return you home. If you could find and defeat me, Avengers. I didn't promise you a guide through Limbo. Enough of your infernal robots, Kang. Face us like a man. Oh, I'm no robot this time, Hercules. Just a projection of light and sound. If you want the real me, just follow your noses. An incalculable distance away, the laughter continues. Surely there can be no sweeter revenge than this. To see one's enemies flounder about helplessly, unsure of what to do or where to turn. The mighty Avengers are mere playthings in my hands, Ravonna. So it would appear, my lord. I can hardly wait to use them in eliminating my last remaining double. My dear divergent brother in time. You see, Ravonna, there he is. Conferring with the lieutenants of his 41st century empire, unaware that my machines monitor his every move. He's actually my physical elder, you know. Not that his years of experience have kept me from manipulating him. I allowed him to think himself my equal in cunning, enlisting him to help exterminate the many alternate reality Kangs who had been brought into existence through my, or rather, through our travels through time. He has no idea how successful we've been. All the divergent lives of Kang have been eliminated, save for mine and his, and he, too, shall soon fall. Come, my dear, let me show you the means by which I shall become the overlord of all time. Here in my robotics plant are forged automatons, the likes of which have already begun to extend my power throughout 1,000 separate realities. When my final time-generated double has been terminated, he will also be replaced by a robotic copy under my control. Then, I will rule a great dynasty reaching from the heart of Limbo to across all space and time. Oh, my lord! As this other Kang's body gets taken away, the body of the previous double you slew, I thought you'd disposed of it. No, that double is yet of value to me. I intend to use it against my last rival. I don't understand. I thought you were using the Avengers against your twin. The Avengers are but part of the trap. And before they are truly ready for me to use, I want to play with them a bit more, frustrate them, get them really fighting mad. Elsewhere, in Limbo. Follow your noses, he said. We're lucky to see our noses in this pea soup. That's twice that he's called it pea soup. If I ever lay my hands upon the real Kang, he will never find his nose again. Hold on to that thought, Hercules. I'm gonna see if visibility gets any better with altitude. Good idea, Wasp. Wasp, you have all but vanished from sight. This hasn't gained me much either. I can't see. Wait a minute, there's some sort of movement just ahead. It looks like... Oh no! Dire wraiths! Forward, sisters, forward to the kill! And look at this, Wasp recognizes these things. I'd forgotten that the Space Knight Rom had banished these monsters to Limbo. To the kill! Look out! They're coming from all sides! Holy, there's nothing holy about these infernal creatures. Their foul attack must be answered in kind. As these dire wraiths swarm the Avengers. If I let them get too close, they'll suck my brains out. Hercules, Dane, how are you holding up? Never fear, Wasp. You speak to him who has faced the hordes of the underworld. Let all of wraithdom descend upon me. They shall not find the Prince of Power wanting, Well, don't look now, Herc, but I think you've just gotten your wish. As they keep coming. Bah, it matters not whether my foes number 100 or 100 times 100. The son of Zeus shall not fail. I hope Hercules' strength is as great as his confidence. These wraiths keep attacking in waves and there doesn't seem to be any end to them. Hercules may be the strongest Avenger we've ever had, but there's a limit even to his power. And then back on Earth, you see the protests continue outside about Namor, calling him the fish. You defend that fish man? Well, that fish man saved my uncle's life. And soon as I bring the butler cart in, pardon my interruption, sir, but the afternoon is nearly gone, and you've yet to eat. I know, but we don't... Hey, is that fresh coffee? Jarvis, you're a lifesaver. Hadn't realized how hungry I was. What would the Avengers do without you? Probably miss more meals, sir? My word, what is that contraption you're working on? Well, Captain America claims it is a device for transcending time. Right? You know, the time platform. It was used by the leader, the Hulk's foe, the leader, to scatter Avengers through time. After we wrecked his plans, Iron Man brought the device back here to study. Fortunately for us, the machine seems to be fully operational. Then you intend to use this device to go looking for... Good heavens! Good Lord! I've been through the internal circuitry and the connections to our thermoelectric generators, Cap. Everything checks out positive. It's Captain Marvel. Good work, Captain Marvel. You'd better take 5 now. As soon as Namor and I get the proper coordinates, we'll be taking off. Will do. Oh, Jarvis, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to startle you. Quite all right, madam. I just mistook your energy for an electrical discharge. No harm done. Have a sandwich, if you would. And then, blast! Every time I come close to getting a coordinate fix on the chronal wave, the readings suddenly shift. Take it easy, Namor. Without an exact fix, we haven't a chance of locating the others. I know it's frustrating, but we won't help them by losing our heads. Yes, you are right. Cap calmed him down with just a few words. I didn't think Namor respected anyone that much. What would the protesters say if they could see the Submariner's concern? And back in Limbo, Hercules is just going to town on these wraiths, man. To again face an intractable force on the field of battle. Surely there's nothing more glorious than this. Sounds like a Klingon talking like that. Excuse me if I don't agree, Herc. They continue to want to kill and kill. From where I stand, this is just another rotten war. And I don't see anything glorious about war. Never seen anything attack like this before. They may have killed thousands back on Earth, but here they're practically trying to leap onto my sword. The she-Avenger grows in stature, sister. Her wings vanish. She seeks to confuse us, but she'll not keep us from the kill. And the Wasp says here, or thinks, I hate to use so much force, but the way they keep coming, they give us no choice. Then eventually, the corpses are piling up and things are slowing down. Is that all? There's more than enough for me. There may be no such thing as normal time in this place, but it seems like we've been fighting for days. I feel sick. No, wait. You can't stop now. Kill us. All of us. You want to die? Kang sent us to slay you. The price for failure is death. Better for you to slay us quickly and mercifully than for Kang to slowly torture us to death. Those wraiths may have been inhuman monsters, but what Kang did to them is even more inhuman. He'll pay for that. Kang sent you? Where is he? If I tell you, will you kill me? If you do not, I shall see to it that you survive in limbo for all eternity. Minutes or weeks later, it would appear that Wraith's directions were true. This can only be the lair of Kang. And look at this impressive structure. Now that fiend shall learn what it means to toy with a god. We all have a score to settle. Just thinking of what Kang tricked us into doing to those wraiths makes me ill. Well, don't dwell on it, Jan. We need you as group leader. We can't let Herc just go charging in. Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Dane. Okay, listen. There's no telling what Kang has in there, so we'll have to do this very carefully. So what's the plan, boss? And after a quick consultation with her teammates, Janet Van Dyne again shrinks to the size of a tiny insect. And even she thinks here, at my smallest, I shouldn't trigger any proximity alarms that Kang may have set up. This small side door doesn't look like it gets much use. Should be an ideal port of entry. Alright, as she slips through. Well, that should deactivate any alarms built into the doorway, but the locking mechanism's a lot more stubborn. Fortunately, that's not a big problem. The substance of the door is stronger than steel, but it cannot withstand the knight's enchanted ebony sword. Well, that won't last long. Stay close together. Kang's sure to discover that we're here soon, but with a little luck, maybe we can find him first. And then shortly, look at this, they come across Kang? What? We couldn't have been so lucky as to catch Kang napping. Must be another robot. And then, no, this is no robot. It's a man. And he's dead. Kang? Dead? Who has dared rob Hercules of his vengeance? Can't be Kang. This has to be a trick, says Wasp. Yeah, and I think it's on us. So you may have slain one of my time brothers, Avengers, but you'll not live to slay another. Miscreant, I have slain naught this day but dire wraiths. Did he say brothers? Hey, watch it, Herc. We may be up against more than one Kang. I care not if we face an army of them, especially if their aim is no better than this one's. And then behind him looms this thing. No, you must not threaten my master. And you see him growing. What? Boom! Hitting Hercules from behind. You shall regret that cowardly blow, scoundrel. Bam! And then, zounds! You have swollen to twice my size. What manner of creature are you? I am a stimuloid. You cannot defeat me, for each blow I receive makes me larger and more powerful than before. Powerful enough to smash the strongest foe. And then back at Avengers Mansion, we finally got some solid coordinates to shoot for Jarvis, so you know what to do. Yes, sir. Once you're all in place, I'm to throw the main power switch. But I must admit some trepidation, though. Are you certain this is safe? No, but it's a chance we have to take. Yes, sir. Alright, as Cap flips himself up on top of this platform. Well, the platform's set for periodic recall. If all goes well, we should reappear in a matter of minutes. All set, Jarvis. Let her rip. But as the Avengers' butler throws the fateful switch, good heavens, the platform is vanishing too. This wasn't supposed to happen. What have I done? What have I done? What in blazes? This fog feels most unnatural. The fog's the least of our worries. The time platform materialized here with us. What? Jump? And then they jump and there's the explosion. Okay. Action movie style. Yeah, bada boom. Is everyone alright? Shaken, but otherwise unharmed. Captain Marvel? Yeah, same here, but it looks like we've lost our ticket home. Maybe I'd better scout around. See if I can find out where we are. And with a thought, the silver-clad Avenger transforms her body into a streak of light and vanishes into the haze. Later, back so soon? Soon? It took me hours to find my way back here. She was only gone a minute. Maybe not, Namor. This place fits the description Thor filed on the limbo dimension. Time doesn't follow any rules here. But in such a place, we might never find the others. But back in Kang's lair. You do not fall. Why don't you fall? The Lion of Olympus fall? Never! Bam! Just slugging it out with this growing man, this android. Blast it! Herc's tussle with this big lug is keeping us from getting to Kang. You cannot defeat me, little man. Once I free myself from this wall, I will crush you like a flea. Oh, you wish to be free of that wall? Well then. Boom. Free you shall be. Just putting the boots to him. Alright. Raining fists on the growing man. Some distance away. Listen, do you hear that? It sounded like a muffled explosion. Why is it getting darker? Look out! Incoming missile! Scram! And then this growing man nearly hits the Avengers here. That's no missile. Blazes, this is one of Kang's growing man androids. The more you hit them, the bigger they get. Something must have walloped its growing circuitry. Hercules, he must be this way. Eliminating my stimuloid will not save you, Avengers. I have enough weaponry on my person to destroy an army. You mean you had enough weaponry? You erupted from my power harness, but how? My force field. It couldn't screen out an energy transformer like me. I had no trouble frying the circuits in your battlesuit. Looks like we've missed out on the action. Cap, Namor, hey, the gang's all here. All right, Mr. Master of Time. I want some answers out of you. Like, where'd that other Kang come from? And what's the real reason you brought us to Limbo? What are you talking about? I received a message that you were attacking. No, we've all been played for fools. Quite right, dear brother, but now the game draws to a close. And a long, painful time later, the Avengers awaken to find. By my beard, this glimmering light holds me immobile. All of us are so held, Hercules. Quite so, Avengers. Those paralysis beams won't allow you to do much more than tilt your heads and talk. Oh, fine, another Kang. This gets weirder and weirder. He's not alone, Dane. That's the Lady Ravonna with him. And the last time we knew, she was all but dead. What's going on here? And who's this other Kang we fought? My time brother is just a copy of myself, Wasp, diverged from me in one of my many travels through time. You fared much better against him than I thought you would. But killing him is my privilege. Don't worry though, I will gladly allow you to witness his demise, just before I destroy you all. Next, the once and future Kang. Avengers 269, Part 3, and the conclusion in the Avengers conflict with Kang. And on this cover you see the Avengers doing battle in the background with Kang locked in mortal combat versus Immortus. And the Avengers fight on. Here we go, and this is the once and future Kang. Surely, my lord, Kang, this is your greatest triumph. Yes, Ravonna, the mighty Avengers are my helpless prisoners, as is my sole surviving double. Now there is nothing which can stop my conquest of all time, all reality. Just who's conquering whom? Kang supposedly pulled us into this limbo dimension, but the first real Kang we encountered was dead. But then we were attacked by a second Kang, and the whole lot of us were knocked out by a third Kang. How many Kangs are there? There were thousands, Wasp, but it seems only 2 of us remain alive. My caped time brother lured me here with a message that you Avengers were attacking our council chambers. But I see now that he was the one who killed the Kang you found. It was he who brought you here. He has deceived us all. But of course, dear brother, I knew you'd figure it out eventually. You always were my most worthy divergent double. It was quite a challenge developing a strategy to entrap you. I will almost regret your termination. Anybody understand this divergent double talk? I think I do, Captain America. In theory, alternate realities can be formed at critical moments in time. Say there's a battle which could have 2 or more crucial outcomes, then 2 or more realities could diverge, the battle in each reality having a different outcome. And since Kang has traveled in time, exactly, Black Knight, my travels have resulted in the creation of divergent realities and copies of myself. My very ancestry is derived from divergent realities. The earth of my birthing had diverged from yours centuries ago. We established lunar colonies while you still wallowed in your dark ages. But our scientific advances also brought us devastating wars. Then one day, a stranger came to our world. He was, he said, a scientist. He took a wife, begat a son, and pulled a ruined earth back from the brink of oblivion. He was my ancestor. And as I was to one day learn, a time traveler from your reality. By the time which corresponds to your year 3000 AD, his labors and those of his line had brought forth an age of peace and enlightenment. How I hated it! I was then a young man. I craved the glory of battle, but there was none of that to be had in my time. There was only maddening, unending peace. Finally, desperate for adventure, I visited a citadel erected by my ancestor. Perhaps here I would find some release. What I found in a long-sealed chamber was part of a time machine, and the plans for its operation. There was my escape from a life of boredom. It took years to rebuild and redesign the machine to my needs. But then, at last, I was plunged into the distant past. Back to ancient Egypt, where I established myself as the pharaoh Ramatut. But then, 4 more time travelers were brought before me, the accursed Fantastic Four. I thought them enslaved by my superior technology, but I was wrong. They broke free of my control and turned on me in my own throne room. Unable to stop them, I was forced to quit my kingdom and flee across time. But in fleeing, I found an even greater destiny. I had just finished removing my ceremonial beard when my ship ran into unexpected chronal turbulence, which forced me to exit the time stream into your 20th century. And there, near the orbit of Jupiter, I encountered your era's greatest despot, the infamous Dr. Victor Von Doom. I knew of his epic battles with the Fantastic Four from remnants of history tapes made of your reality by my ancestor. But I pretended not to recognize him. He was disoriented from his ordeal in space, and I took advantage of that to feed him misinformation that would lead him to accept me as an ally. For you see, I admired Dr. Doom, but I also feared him. I knew that Doom was the most cunning man of your time, a genius intellect, who, given the chance, might easily turn my own technology against me. Still, I could not bring myself to strike down a man who had so doggedly battled the Fantastic Four. So, I shall take you back to Earth, while I return to the future. And eager to work his revenge upon our mutual foes, Doom accepted my offer. I soon sent him on his way in a pre-programmed landing module. "You set that fiend loose?" exclaims Namor. "When I am free of this paralyzing ray, Kang, I will repay you for that act of madness." Bold talk, Submariner. Bold talk. But I can understand your rage. Doom has played you for the fool many times, both before and after I aided him, hasn't he? Remember this moment, Kang. I will. And Hercules here thinking to himself, I've heard enough. Hercules will not be held by the machinations of a mere mortal. I shall not yield to this paralyzing beam. If it takes every bit of my might, I shall be free. And across the chamber, the Lady Ravonna notices here. What's that strange fluctuation in the paralysis beam's power supply? Oh, I'll remember, Submariner. My memory is quite excellent. As Kang engages with the Avengers in taunts, continuing to explain his story. I remember how I fought my way back into the time stream, but for the turbulence proved too much for my craft. By the time I'd regained control, I found myself on a war-torn Earth of 4000 AD. The warriors of that time fought on with weapons from stockpiles created centuries earlier. But they had fallen into such a state of barbarism. They had no understanding of how their equipment worked or how to make more. With my own great scientific talent, and the weapons and inventions of this far future age. I can rule this world. I locked myself inside one research complex, and within hours, I had mastered a score of miraculous devices. Inspired by my meeting with Dr. Doom, I created a battle suit containing a small armory of weapons. That day, Kang the Conqueror was truly born. With my skill and weaponry, it was simple to rally the barbarian rabble to my side. In a few short weeks, I carved out a new empire, but that did not satisfy me. The world I ruled was dying. I craved dominion over an earth still green and vital. My thoughts immediately went to the glorious living world of my ancestor, 20th century Earth, and why not? Though it was the time of Dr. Doom, I now felt more than a match for him. I actually welcomed the challenge of pitting my weaponry against Doom's in a contest for world domination. But it was not Doom who challenged me upon my return to the 20th century. It was a fledgling group of super beings called the Avengers. I remember that day, Kang. As I recall, we sent you running back to the future with your tail between your legs. Luck! What? You heard me. It was sheer luck that how you thwarted me that day. Thwarted us, brother. After all, your life did not diverge from mine until after that first encounter with the Avengers. Would you like to know when it did? You mean when your life diverged from mine, upstart? No, I will yet have the upper hand in this, and then I shall find out for myself. And meanwhile, Hercules struggles. Hercules is beginning to overload the system. I should warn Kang, but if I do, he might kill the Avengers outright. Yet, if I don't, I will be free. So, my counterpart thinks me an upstart. And what do you think, Captain? I couldn't repeat that in mixed company, Kang. Defiant to the end, eh? You were just as obstinate the last time I held you captive. I would have destroyed you then had it not been for my lovely Ravonna. Oh, what? Surely you must recall, my dear, how after my army had seized your father's kingdom, my lieutenant Baltag demanded your death and turned against me when I refused. I was driven to join forces with Captain America and his neophyte Avengers against my own armies. In return for your aid, Captain, I returned you Avengers to your proper place in time, confident that I could have my revenge upon you another time. But as I was sending you on your way, the traitorous Baltag broke free from his guards and seized the weapon. Death to Kang, who has betrayed us all, as he fires. Even as I turned, the love of my life hurled herself into the line of fire. Ravonna! Baltag was brought down in an instant, but he had left my soul with a wound more serious than he could ever have inflicted on my body. Ravonna, have I gained your love, only to have lost it? Nothing in all my science could restore her life. At best, I could but preserve her body in stasis. The years that followed are a blur to me now. I set out through time and space in search of adventure, any adventure, which would help me forget. But nothing did. Eventually, my ventures brought me back to your 20th century, and a chance encounter with the mighty Thor. I thought I had him at my mercy, but he'd only feigned helplessness to learn my intentions. As I prepared to depart in my camouflaged time sphere, he used that accursed hammer of his to envelop my craft in an infinity vortex. My time sphere was obliterated, and I was flung into this misty realm of limbo. How long I wandered here is impossible to say. For as you've learned, limbo exists beyond all concepts of time and space. But finally, I chance upon a sprawling fortress and the remains of the one who had been the Dimension's master, the one called Immortus. I do not know what had killed Immortus, nor do I care. For in death, he could not challenge my claim to his dimension or his wondrous devices. There were endless scores of view screens, all focused on different points in real time and space. Mastery of the controls came to me quite naturally, and I soon found myself facing that moment in time I had most tried to forget. As I groped for the controls, my hand fell upon an untried switch, and suddenly, I was no longer alone in limbo. Ravonna. What? My Lord Kang, where are we? We are together again, that is all that matters. But I was wrong, for as we embraced, I saw something that made my blood run cold. The screen which had shown Ravonna about to sacrifice herself now displayed the body of Kang. In saving my love, I had diverged a new reality in which I died. I soon discovered that my adventures had triggered an abundance of divergent realities, many of which held copies of myself. Why do they worry you so? Because they're such idiots, and they're diverging more idiots. I must put an end to this before the name of Kang becomes synonymous with fool. Limbo itself provided a solution. The lesser Kangs could be exterminated within this timeless realm without producing more divergent doubles. Observation revealed that two brothers were too clever to be easily eliminated, so I enlisted them into a council of time, letting them think they were part of my plan, when they were actually little more than stooges. You will suffer 1,000 tortures for this. While, all but unnoticed, Hercules' hand starts to stir. I would hardly have believed it possible. Hercules is not only overcoming the paralysis beam, he's causing a power drain on the entire system. Do you feel? This is fading? Yes. Mere motion is not the only thing on Captain Marvel's mind. I've been fighting to unleash my energy powers, but this beam's held me back. If it's starting to weaken... You're in no position to threaten torture, brother. You... What? You're moving, but you can't. It's not possible. Is that fear in your voice, brother? Is your precious scheme unraveling? And then, the explosive force at Captain Marvel's command erupts from her body in one devastating burst of energy. That did it. I can move again, but I feel stiff. Well, limber up fast, Avengers. You've cut off the paralysis beams, but how? There are safeguards, warning systems. There would have been signs of an overload. There were signs, my lord. Ravonna, you knew. You betrayed me? Mayhap she but came to her senses. Thick-witted fool, my protective armor has resisted the hammer of Thor. It can easily stave off your clumsy attack. But how well is your force field rooted? A submariner approaches with Hercules. Ha! Not well at all, 'twould seem. Let's go. We can't let him get away from us now as they give chase. Ravonna, are you? I'll be fine, Wasp. I have this one well in hand. With her pistol out. Go on after the other Kang. Just try to take him alive. We will if he lets us. This is bizarre. I thought Ravonna and Kang were lovers, but it looks like she let us get free. The Wasp is gone now. Put down your weapon. No. Ravonna, please. Several chambers beyond. These robot hordes will not keep me from Kang. No, but they might slow us down, Hercules, and gain Kang time. Step up the pace. Cap, look out! I saw him coming, Jan, but thanks. Where's Captain Marvel? She flew on ahead to make sure Kang wouldn't get too far away. You squander your energies, woman. Nothing can breach my force field. Wanna bet? I've shattered fields generated by whole starships. She's right. He'll overload my shields in moments, but I have a means of dealing with her living energy. A response to Kang's remote control command. There are ways to counter every attack, Marvel. As you have become a creature of light and lightning, I shall dose a small dose of dark force will put you in your place and slowly drain your life away. Not if we can help it, mister, as Captain America's shield shatters this cannon. What? Never felt so cold. As Captain Marvel tries to recover here. You've overcome my robots already. Impressive. But I've still enough power at my command to humble you all. Think he's bluffing, Cap? Only one way to find out, Jan. Meanwhile, please, Ravonna, give me the weapon. No, no. You want to kill the other Kang. Ravonna, I love you more than he. I have mourned you for a half a century of time. If you truly love me, then promise you will not harm your time, brother. I could never promise that. I must have my revenge for the way he used me. I see. Go then. Get it over with. You're letting me go just like that? If you're so determined to get yourself killed, it's pointless to try and stop you. But I won't give you my weapon. You'll have to kill me first. Keep your toy. Captain Marvel wrecked most of my battlesuit's weaponry, but I still have the means to eliminate my competition. I'm not the one who will die, my love. He's so wrong. They were all so wrong. Why couldn't they see? They weren't capable of seeing their errors, Ravonna. I had to give him a chance. I had to try. I know. Who is that? I'll use my double's own strategy. I'll use my double's own strategy against him. Let the Avengers soften him up. Then I will strike. We need more cover, Hercules. Rip out that machinery and say no more, Wasp, as he rips it out here. Does the woman take me for an idiot? I need no direction for so simple a task. A most formidable missile, Olympian, for a lesser foe. Gotta move now. Aha, I thought Hercules' attack might be a diversion. Even with my shield shunting off most of the blast, it still has the kick of a Missouri mule. I'm surprised you'd try such an so obvious attack, Captain. Not as obvious as you thought, Kang. You should have kept your eye on the man with the magic sword. Disrupting my field gains you little, Avenger. Your Captain Marvel has yet to fully recover. My backup systems will shield me before any of you can strike me again. Wrong, bruh. Well, now, could this be the Kang who vowed to get the upper hand? The fool never even considered that I might have tampered with his weaponry before he went under the paralysis beam. You see, Avengers, I planned for everything. Despite your interference, you couldn't thwart my greatest scheme. Now at last I am the one and only Kang. Oh yeah? How do you know there aren't a few more Kangs wandering around loose? Because I've computed all possible divergences and eliminated them all. I am the sole master of time. Not so, brother. You will never be master as long as I yet live. Immortus! Immortus! No! You can't be Immortus. This is some trick. Not at all. What has gone before has been the trick. I allowed you to eliminate all the divergent Kangs because it served my purposes. But there was one divergence whose existence I kept hidden from you. Mine. You're saying that you diverged from me? But there were no signs. Sounds like Immortus did a good job of keeping you in the dark, mister. The Avengers learned long ago that Immortus was another manifestation of Kang. But we'd also been told he was dead. The rumors of my demise were a deception that was necessary, Captain. Divergence or not, you'll not stop me from... Oh, do be still. I was stopping you long before you ever entered Limbo. Who do you think engineered that turbulence in the time stream that first brought you to the 20th and 40th centuries. Nor was it mere chance that led you to my ersatz remains. I mentally manipulated your rescue of my lovely Ravonna, and she, in turn, helped me keep your counter-divergency project under observation. It's all true, I'm sorry, my lord, but Immortus is all that was ever good in Kang. And you are still so full of hate. No, I am master of time. You are not even the last of the Kangs. This psyche globe has absorbed the memories of all the Kangs you have slain. By its power, I am the supreme master of Limbo. Then you will be supreme no more, as Kang tries to take it from him. Now it is Kang who rightfully rules. Ah, look at you all, frozen with fear, and well you should be. No longer will Kang be made a fool of. The power of this globe is mine. All mine. No. As Kang is pulled into Limbo. Why are we just standing here? He's getting away. There's no need to chase after him, Captain. Kang is no longer a problem. And in his current state of mind, he will never find his way out of Limbo. You somehow kept us from stopping Kang. You wanted him to grab that sphere. No, I gave Kang the opportunity to either condemn or redeem himself. When he seized the sphere, he chose the former course. More so, the pity. What was really in that globe? Exactly what I said. The life memories of all the slain Kangs. They were not the source of my power, though I had learned much about alternate realities by examining them one by one. But Kang was force-fed all those memories at once. Yes, thousands of memories in an instant. That would be more than any mortal mind could stand. Those memories, especially Namor, but each and every one has ended in Kang's defeat at his own hands. But why deal with Kang in such a roundabout way? Understand, Captain Marvel, that as ruler of Limbo, it is my duty to untangle the realities brought about by my divergent counterparts. It is an onerous and often distasteful duty. I found it preferable to let one Kang eliminate the others than to intervene directly myself. So you call letting one Kang wipe out thousands and then driving him mad preferable? I call it villainy. Call it what you will. I have the responsibility to oversee many millennia of time and to maintain the stability of more realities than your poor minds can imagine. Everything I do is necessary. Well, why should we believe you any more than we would Kang? Whether or not you believe me is moot. My purposes have been served. You have played your parts well, but there is no longer a need for you in Limbo. Be gone, back to your 20th century, Earth. My lord, why did you dismiss them so imperiously? Now the Avengers will never trust you. I could never hope to win their trust, Ravonna, nor would I want it. Heroes must always be wary of beings as powerful as I. Far better I be thought a villain than a world lose the effectiveness of the mighty Avengers. And so ends this time-bending saga. Kang the Conqueror, one of the Avengers' oldest villains, and literally one of the Marvel Universe's oldest villains. He's existed in all time periods, it seemed. And in this issue, they go through his whole backstory in such a fascinating way, don't they? I always found Kang to be a confusing, bewildering character. And I almost never tried to understand what he was all about. But I feel like this storyline mapped him out as best they possibly could. And it was fascinating, was it not? Yeah. The Avengers had so much on their plate. They had their work cut out for them. But luckily they had help from Immortus, a divergent Kang, which seemed to supersede them all. And that little argument at the end of that last issue was a pretty interesting one. The Avengers just questioning him, and Immortus just eventually getting fed up with answering their questions, getting more and more impatient, and deciding, just be gone. Okay, leave me alone. You don't need to trust me. Okay, I'm not your friend. That's okay. I did what I had to do with Kang. Leave me alone. Get out of here. Alright, good stuff. I love that. So this is the Pop Culture Cosmonaut, baby. I want you to like, comment, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to repeat myself about none of that right there. And of course, long live the retro comics revolution.